Welcome to Charts Today. My name's David Linton, and today's edition for Monday, the 9th of October, comes to you from London. And we've just seen the dollar just pulling back, still bullish above the cloud though, so holding on to that bull trend. We're seeing the last several weeks the dollar strength has been returning, but we still don't have any clear short or medium term targets, so it's quite a difficult one to call. Keep an eye on your 1 minute charts. If we look at the euro, we see here euro is still bearish below the cloud, and this is just its sign of curling over as well. Key support is at about 115. We're sitting at about 117.30 at the moment, so 115 is the key level. If we fall below 115, that puts us back into medium-term bearish territory. And against the Japanese yen, we see the dollar strength really has kicked in quite strongly from 108 to 112. 60. So we've seen that big move in the last few weeks. We're just slightly bearish below the cloud, but we do have quite good upside targets here as well, 3% and 4%. So we are still seeing the dollar looking strong against the yen. Sterling, a bit of a recovery this morning, but is looking bearish below the cloud, sitting at the 131 area against the US dollar, and against the euro. Again, a little bit of a recovery, but still bearish on all three time frames against the euro. Against the Swiss franc, we're still bearish below the cloud on the short-term time frame, and against the Australian dollar, we are seeing just a little bit of strengthening there to 169, but no clear upside at the moment. The S&P 500 index continued its run last week, had a very good week, taking it to new highs, sitting at about 2550 at the moment, so looking strong very clearly through the 2500 level now. The Nasdaq also just broke above on Friday, so that's looking pretty good as well. So tech stocks are now back in vogue, and the Dow also running higher, and the Russell 2000 pausing a little bit for breadth on Friday, but the broader US market still looking pretty strong. The futures, the S&P future up slightly this morning, and the Nasdaq E-mini up slightly, so it does look like the market should open a little higher today. The FTSE 100 index a little bit subdued at the moment, but is looking better medium term, now back above the cloud, and the short term chart has had a very good week. The FTSE 250 looking even better, making new highs there, so we are seeing a pretty strong performance there. But again, a shortage of new upside targets for the FTSE 250, so that is just it's difficult to see where we go next, although it is bullish. The DAX looking strong as well, and again a shortage of upside targets here. All the short-term ones were negated with the pullback recently, so we are just waiting for confirmation of this big target, but it is not yet activated, and it is a lone target, so we wouldn't put as much emphasis on that. The Nikkei looking stronger, bullish above the cloud. Hang Seng also looking pretty strong. Shanghai Composite is back above the cloud, although we did sell off a little bit late in the session, but we are looking stronger there. And the Sensex is also coming through, so China and India are starting to follow Western markets. The Australian market has jumped quite significantly, but still looks pretty bearish on the short and medium term. Very, very choppy market conditions there. Brent crude is up this morning, 55.66, but we are still bearish below the cloud on the short term. And WTI also bearish below the cloud in the short term, still with downside targets to 48, 47.60. So we are still seeing potential downward pressure in the short term. Then, of course, we're at the time of year where oil tends to fall. US nat gas sitting at 287, so just struggling at this $3 level, just hanging over US nat gas. Copper had a good run on Thursday, Friday, but it's just pulled back a little bit, but still looking pretty strong. If we go straight to gold, we see gold is actually now back above the cloud in the short term. We have had quite a sell-off, finding support on the cloud on the medium-term chart, looking a little bit better. This will give us a thrust target, this column here, and in fact we can put that on 1331. So it's saying that thrust target is giving us about 4% upside, so it'll be interesting to see whether we can actually, we need to activate that, of course, with a move above this current level. Silver much the same, and we do have an upside target here of 5%, which is activated to 1779. Taking a look at US Treasury yields, sitting at about 2.3%. We were as high as 2.4 on Friday, so really pricing in that rate rise in the US now. Apple just above the cloud, so looking a bit better. Google looking very strong still short term. Amazon also now looking strong short term. Facebook also back above the 170 level and looking a bit better, still yet to make a new high. And Microsoft looking very strong, making new highs on the chart there. So we see here a great 12 months for Microsoft, just straight up the trend here. That's it for today. Until tomorrow, happy charting. See you then.